Okay, guys. Ratios and rates. Here's something that we've got to know. Please listen. Rational comes from the word ratio. Ratio can be written as a fraction. I want you to consider a ratio a fraction. Now, there are a couple of other ways to write them, and you know those ways. Miss HS did this for you last year as well. But a ratio can and should be written as a fraction, as a reduced fraction. Okay? Now, this first one says, an archer shoots 60 arrows at a target with 44 arrows hitting the scoring area. Good job. Write the ratio described in A and in B in 3 different ways. Okay? The first one says the number of hits to the number of misses. Can you write that as a fraction for me? There were 60 total shots, but Dane, if we did hits to misses, what would it be? It would be 44 over what? Not 44. Not 40, but 44 over, not 60, but what? We'll see.
100.
Not over 100. Kentaro. Not 12. No. Rex. 16, right? If there were 60 total shots and 44 were hits, then 60 minus 44 tells me how many misses. Yes? Does that make sense? So this is 44 hits to 16 misses. But here's the thing. Since a ratio is a fraction, we have to reduce it. Will someone reduce that thing for me? What'd you get there once it's reduced, Nicholas?
You get
11 over 4. Okay, that's one of the 3 ways. What's another way that I can write that ratio? Miles? Not as a decimal. No. How else would I write this ratio? Kentaro? 11, not comma. Berto? Okay, gentlemen, here we go. 11 colon 4. Do we recall this? 11, 2, 4. This is the 3 ways that we write ratios. Once as a fraction, once as a colon. She only taught it to the other class? Okay. All right. Gentlemen, I can write it as a fraction, or I can write it with a colon separating the 2 numbers, 11 hits to every 4 misses, or I can write it with the word 2 between them. Okay, now that we know that, it's not that hard to remember. Okay, let's do B. B says the number of hits to the number of shots. Well, let's just write that as a fraction first, and I think Dane was going there earlier, but who can write that fraction for me? Someone give me the fraction for the number of hits over the number of shots. Taggart? 44 over 60. But again, remember, this is a fraction, so I'm going to have to reduce it. What is that reduced? Ross? Okay, that would give us 22 over 30. That's true, right, if we reduced it by 2. Can I keep reducing? What else?
You get 11 over 15.
All right, 11 over 15. Now, that's one of our ways of writing a ratio. How else could I write this ratio? Will R? 11 with the word 2 between them, 15. What's another way that I can write that ratio, Julian?
11
and a colon, 15. Now, something to remember, these 2 ways, this one and this one, this one and this one, they're not frequently used. They can be written that way, but they're not very often. Most of the time, we're going to represent these as fractions. Okay? Good job, guys. I'll see you at example number 2.